get some rain tonight. I don't know, like, I guess there's not like an easy way to do the prosthetic thing, because a lot of them, I guess, like the firecracker was just like, made to stun the enemy and shit. If you could just spam some of them, it'd be OP, but the ones that are like that, where you could use them as like a cheese spam, probably could go like the axe. You could just have that one be infinite. It's not that juicy, man. The axe, I mean, what else, man? I don't know. I mean, I tried using a lot of them, but maybe I'd use more of them if I tried them more. Like, one of them's just like like you use it, and then it just lets you teleport a few feet. I literally, for the life of me, couldn't figure out why the fuck I'd ever want to do that. Where did you go, lad? Where did I come from? Where did I go? I finished the game, man. I'm talking about my thoughts. Yeah. Streamer house. Come move down here, man. We can have streamer house, dude. Shack up, brother. No, I'm back at home. I might do a solo gig at some point or a different deal, but I'm just back at the old place right now. Things be better. But yeah, back to the Sekiro shit. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's definitely some weird shit. Overall, it's quite good. I think the exploration was good. I think they used the verticality and all the new movement tech and the world design pretty well. I mean, the world looked good. I mean, at the end of the day, it's feudal Japan shit, but I think it's the most well realized kind of feudal Japan thing, because it's not just feudal Japan. It's like, that kind of like weird from software, kind of like weird, like you got like the odd enemies and the kind of darker kind of feel to it. It doesn't feel like I'm just playing some kind of period piece. So that's good. I'll avoid like specific spoilers here. I'm just talking general thoughts. I mean, maybe I'll have spoilers, but I'll mention them. Because I'm going to be done now. I'm skipping a fight. I don't care. It's just not a fun fight. 3-day break, coming back. I just don't care about doing that particular fight. It's easily the worst fight in the game, and it's going to be by far the hardest. For the wrong reasons, for sure. Any boss that plays like a Souls boss is actually horrible in this game. Because the game does not have Souls mechanic. I don't know why they thought they should put that dude in. That's kind of what I mean by there being like a lot of humanoid dudes, which is totally fine because they're the best, but... yeah, we'd have to see. Yeah, I think the normal fights against little enemies is cool. I mean, at the end of the day, they're all just humans for the most part, which is fine. That's the idea. There's still a lot of variety, even though everybody's just like a dude. I mean, there's other random shit. I guess it's not all human. There's plenty. I think there's plenty of variety. I think the mini boss thing is fine. At the end of the day, there's a lot of bosses, I guess, but if you're expecting to come in and get like 30 plus big bosses or some shit, like some soul shit, you're not gonna get it. In terms of like pure optional bosses, there was only like a few. But there's a lot of mini bosses. And they're fun. Some of them are carbon copies, but like, It never felt like an issue. I think them doing a story this time around was actually just totally fine. I think there's not as much crazy lore behind the scenes, but I think they got a handle on the atmosphere enough where you still got similar feel. And the story was fine. I thought the story was fine. It was more upfront. They still had some stuff behind the scenes you get into. I'm not gonna talk about the ending, I guess, but I don't know how I feel about which ending I picked. I think having a bad ending halfway through the game, though, that you can pick on accident is really bad. Because then you gotta restart the whole game. Yeah, what else, man? Music, not a high point. The music totally fit, and it was fine. Because it is kind of like a period thing. They don't do as much unique stuff as they could. This kind of shit what you get the whole way through. Yeah, I definitely think their other games did better music wise. Easily. Yeah, I think the characters and the story shit was fine. It was good. The overall what? Gameplay was good. It was pretty damn crispy. I really like the idea of having the gameplay be about kind of like some anime sword clashing battles, but you actually play them instead of like a cutscene, you know, the parrying, the dodging, the counters and shit. It's all pretty rewarding. So when the fights are really good, which is most fights, I'd say I can't think of a fight that was just dog shit. There's a few I'm not a big fan of. The Monk, the Ape, mainly oh, the Demon, Hatred's horrible. Anything that I guess starts moving towards Souls is not really good. The game doesn't play off of iframes, so big, gigano enemies with huge swings and shit. If you can't parry them, or if it's like weird to parry them, it's not as entertaining. The game works so much better as like a just samurai clash thing, which I guess has a limited scope, but I think you can make a bunch of fights around it. I mean, you saw the last fights and stuff. The cool ninja ones. I don't think it's a totally limited system, but I don't think they should try to do crazy soul shit. See, I mean, they did the horse, and the horse worked fine. He was a big dude, the spear, and you could see when you had to do the blocks and all that shit. When at the end of the day, I guess it's just a dude on a horse, but kind of stuff worked. I guess the DD guy was, I mean, I guess one of the easiest fights in the game, but it was flashy. Yeah, I'm glad they still did like a bunch of like mythological kind of like cool stuff like that. It's not like Neo where they try to make it just like all people and then like random like super Japanese myth shit. That's really lame and cheesy. This one feels like they're doing their own thing a lot more. Yeah. So prosthetics, they're okay, dude. Combat arts, half the time I just turned off combat arts, man. Maybe I'm just lame, but it felt like a lot of the time, like these combat arts were just kind of like leaving you open. Like I guess they have uses, but they're so big and crazy half the time that I feel like they don't have like a lot of utility always. Like the Nightjar Slash I guess has some utility. Some of these can be used in place of certain counters. Like high mark, you could do a flip instead of a jump into a kick. I guess it's better. I don't know, dude. But you also need to be like ready to roll on that. Mortal Draw, I guess I used that. See, that one had like Mortal Draw had a utility here and there. So I use that occasionally, but a lot of these, I mean, it's kind of. I feel like the fights are so quick that you doing any of these in the middle of like a boss is just like asking for it. And the ones that are quick, I'm like, why wouldn't I just use a sword slash? I definitely think for my playthrough, maybe you know I just didn't utilize shit as much. But like seeing like Bloodborne though, like I utilize every single fucking move outside the um, neutral R1, and like they all have kind of a use. You know, you got your gap closer, fade away one. I'm thinking Blades of Mercy, but your big damage, you know, R2, your quick flurries with the R1, like they all kind of have like a use. The main combat's so good though, it's like I don't even feel like the need to use combat arts or prosthetic. I mainly use just shuriken gap closer. I just did this all the time. Feels like easily the best follow-up attack. Having a gap closer is like huge. I don't know about the rest of these. I do like that a lot of bosses like react to certain things, like beasts react to, you know, firecrackers, and you know, I use that a good bit. You could use the whistle for stealth situations, but you only get it like halfway or more through the game, so it's like, you're already kind of doing stuff. I don't understand the Mist Raven. Maybe it's good if you like upgrade it a lot to something different. Divine Abduction seems like something for like small dudes. Flame Vent, just fire. Umbrella just seems like a shield, but you have ammo, so whatever. I think you can use it on the headless monkey and like certain enemies with armor, but I never was really a thing. I only used axe at the very beginning to break certain dude's shield, and then you never see him again. I definitely think making them maybe more infinite and maybe more required in certain fights, or just have really good utility like the shuriken. Shuriken was like easily the thing for me. It had good anti-air if I needed it on certain fights, which most fights stopped having any air attack pretty damn quick. Or any air attacks that you could actually react to with the shuriken at time. Yeah. So consumables suck, but since the game's not super hard, you don't really have to worry about it as much as in like Bloodborne. Because you do get your healing gourd. Now, I don't mean like one's like much harder than the other. I just mean like since you do have regen heals, when you want your top off pellets, you're not gonna have to grind them that much. Chances of you going through 10 gourds and then still needing 3 pellets every single attempt is pretty low. Now if you use all your pellets right away, then yeah, you're gonna have to grind a lot. But you have a lot of extra heals if you really want. But I think most items, I'm glad they like toned down the items a bit. Most items have like a pretty obvious use. I wouldn't use most of them, but they have more use. Not just like, you know, like all these balloons, they all do the same thing with a different currency. Have I? I think I only had it as the last day one. Maybe not. I mean, I'm done. Yeah, I already finished. It only took an hour. Yeah, I was gonna finish last time, but I had to go for a few days. It wasn't gonna be a lie. I've been talking about it. I'm just kind of sitting here rambling about what I think. Overall, it's real good. It's totally worth playing. I got some quirks with it, but nothing that I would say you shouldn't play it for. It's pretty excellent. But yeah, overall, like what I was saying is, I think the items are fine. I think status effects, I guess were fine. If you didn't have these, then they would suck. And you'd have to buy these. That makes me, so yeah, the items fine. Quick items are fine. That makes me go back to the, I haven't talked about it, the dying and losing half your money thing. I think that was so pointless. Better, worse, or just different? It depends on what you're after. It's pretty different. I wouldn't say it's just better. But I wouldn't say it's also worse. I think, since the combat's more focused on like pairing and like more anime sword battles, it's hard to compare to something that's like focused on iframes. Because big iframes lets you have big bosses and you just dodge big attack. Where in this, everything's based on like animations and hitboxes and parrying and shit. So it limits the pool. But pool enemies they do have, they're really tight fights. They're really good. I mean, I'd say I like Bloodborne still better, but I also dig the atmosphere. This one, just for the second to second gameplay, like just the sword clashing and shit, has the best gameplay easily, the most refined. It's got the deepest and most refined gameplay out of any of them, no doubt. I just think that it has a lot of like wasted shit. Prosthetics aren't really that great. Combat arts are kind of whatever. I mean, maybe I just didn't use them enough. But I mean, this game is like stealth. That's pretty actually useful. The exploration's still good. If you told me you like this game the best out of all of them, I'd respect it. Wasted potential? I mean, it's my playthrough though. Like, I didn't use the prosthetics that much. A lot of them felt pointless outside the shuriken. With the sword clashing, I mean, just the fucking, just the fighting and the parrying and all that. I mean, easily one of the best combat systems I've played. If you want that feeling of like having an actual like samurai battle or like a proper sword clashing battle, I mean, this is it, man. Like, easy. I could totally respect somebody saying they liked it better than Dark Souls and Bloodborne. I'd absolutely respect that. I think the set, like I said, the setting's fine. I think it's good. It's not like annoyingly feudal Japan, like whacking off Japanese history. But I think there's a couple things they tried that kind of whatever. Like I said, I think the prosthetics over. Giant enemy crabs. There's giant snakes. There were giant bulls. There's giant carp. Not a crab. I didn't see a single crab, man. Maybe in the sequel, dude. Oh yeah, so when you die, losing half your money is like the most pointless thing ever. That's what I mean. Is I don't have a problem with most things. Like, I think the prosthetics are fine. They're there. People can use them. I use them a little bit. They're not as essential as I feel like you'd like them to be. And they're not, the utility isn't as great outside some bosses that have a very clear reason you'd use a certain one. Same with the combat arts. I ended up accidentally using combat arts all the time, so I just took them off in boss fights. I don't think they're a problem. I think they're good. They're not like in the way or like a bad thing. Because the main combat's so good, like I don't care. The rest is just flavor. But stuff like losing half of your shit, yeah, you lose it permanently. It's just like pointless though. Like, it's really I think they were trying to make it hard, but it was like really pointless. I think the Souls way of doing it was better, and I don't even like that much. So how it works is you have a chance on death to keep all of your XP and all of your money, and that chance goes down the more you die, because people, the people who give you that chance start getting sick. But you can bring it back, but you have to use like a rare consumable to bring it back. But there's just like no point. The max is like 30%, and like you start losing it after like a good 10 deaths or something. So all you have to do is, if you're close to leveling up, go kill a couple dudes. It'll top your XP off. And once you get a skill point, you can't lose the skill point. And then if you have a lot of money, you go to a merchant and you can buy these bags. No, you use the money a lot in this game. The money is very useful. But you can buy coin purses, which for like a small extra price, you can buy, and it lets you pretty much have like a wallet you can keep through death. So like all you do is before every single time you're gonna go fight a boss, I guess maybe if you just suck weenie and die on like every little enemy, like you just go, you travel back to all the merchants, buy out as many bags as you can, or you use your money, top off your level, and it takes like 2 seconds, and then you just go do the fight. It's just like the most pointless mechanic. Like unless you're like a brainlet, I guess, like it would be a problem. Like if you go into a fight with 99% XP, then you get sad you lost 45% of it, like I guess you're an idiot. You deserve to lose it, because that's not even an issue. I don't know why they even put it in the game. It's fucking pointless, man. Babu babu. The unseen aid thing's cute, but it felt like them trying to give you like repercussions, like even more than usual, but it ended up just feeling really hollow. Liquidate your funds, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's just like that, and it's got like a really obvious end game way to handle it. I'm just like, I don't get it. Like I said, spirit emblems, ammo for your shit makes you just not want to use them in like outside bosses. I think, of course, if you could spam shit infinitely, it'd be OP, but you could balance them. So, like, I don't have any big problems with the game. I mean, if somebody's like, yeah, 10 out of 10, that's fine. You know, that's fine. I don't know what I'd give it, but I respect it being a great game, because at the end of the day, I mean, everything it tries to do well, it does do well. It just has like a bunch of features that are like kind of just like considering how like clunky the movement and shit is in like a lot of Souls games, this game is really snappy. Like the jumping's was pretty cool. The prosthetic arm thing where you can like launch yourself at shit's pretty cool. There's times where you think you can kind of latch onto something but you can't, but I guess that's to limit which ways you can go. I think the level design was really good. I think for the feudal Japan with the kind of like mythical aesthetic lathered on top of it, they had a good variety of areas. And they laid into each other pretty good. Like I said, they worked the verticality pretty well. Some mini boss encounters were kind of wacky, but overall it's pretty good. I think a lot of the mini bosses needed to have a guarantee way to get to them through stealth. I found myself just end up like tethering enemies and cheesing them with stealth. I think they should have just made the mini bosses something that like stealth was more integral. Because when you do stealth against a mini boss, you can get rid of one of their health bars. But like a lot of them, it seems like you can't. But if you like go fight them, then like run away or do certain things, then you could still stealth them. So it's just kind of like they really should have just made it. And you could easily figure that out through playtesting. So they should have really just made it so that every boss could be stealthable, and the level design was based around it. And then the actual bosses, not just the mini bosses, you know, you couldn't stealth, right? It's more about the crazy gameplay. In terms of difficulty, I think it has a nice, good feel. It is not the hardest game ever, by any means. It's got a nice, good bit of difficulty. It depends on how quickly you can wrap your mind around the game's mechanics. As soon as you can wrap your mind around the parry thing, it starts having, I feel like, the intended difficulty. The beginning was hard because I was like, souls, 5 frames, but once you get the mechanics going, it's mean, I didn't spend more than 3 hours on a boss, and that was only one boss. I mean, I spent an hour on the final boss. If that. The level design, like from area to area, it's pretty. You can go in a lot of things. I went and explored 3 or 4 areas before I even touched the 3rd boss. So I was doing some shit ahead of time. You essentially, if you're talking about like the order of areas, you don't just go in a straight line through the whole game. You know, you'll branch off, and it's linear for a bit. It's definitely more linear than I'd say Souls. But you'd go linear for a bit. They tell you about some stuff in the story. You get an option to go to like 3 places pretty much. And then you kind of take them in any order you want. And then you go do another area or 2, and then you're kind of there. But there's a lot of shit in between. And you can do those things before they even tell you about them if you want. I was doing shit that was after that branch, way before they even told me about the branch. They leave it pretty open. If you just mean like the actual level design, like when you're just moving around, the amount of exploration and shit you can do, it's pretty open for the most part. I wouldn't say it's any different than Souls. There's a lot of exploration, a lot of moving around. Fucking deep lore, one sec. Yeah, I'd say it's about Souls-like. Because a lot of stealth games would be super linear, right? But this one, it's not too bad. I mean, it's linear in the sense that there is, like, the beginning of an area and the end of the area, or maybe a couple exits from the area. But, like, you know, you'll be going, like, straight down this way, but there might be a path I can go over here and grab some items from here. There's a mini boss over there, a hidden item over here. Just kind of like Souls. And you'll be coming back to a lot of areas. They change a lot of areas. There's a couple areas in the game that get completely reworked. Like, I can't even get past this anymore. There's a lot of shit in the game. The huge events happen in the game. Completely reworked shit, which is cool. And they don't get old. They add like crazy enemies, new areas, closed off areas, bosses. So I think the level design and all that's pretty great. I think it's totally fine. And for them doing jumping and shit for the first time, they handle that pretty well and use it a lot. Deep lore? There's deep lore. Yeah. There's definitely a lot of deep lore. There's a lot of stuff you can find. I mean, there's items that tell you about some stuff. It's not as deep lore as Souls. The story's very upfront. It tells you what's going on. There's a lot of dialogue. But there's a lot of like hidden dialogue, a lot of hidden eavesdrop. You can give sake to like a lot of NPCs and they'll tell you their stories, and you can kind of infer from those stories what certain bosses are, what they do. It's a lot more like manageable instead of like Psycho Deep Lore. It still has a lot of ambiguity and a lot of like mystery feel to it. It's not like Neo or some shit where it's just like, it's Tokugawa is what there is, and like that's it, like there's a lot of interesting shit. Like I don't know like a lot of the bosses, like what the hell is up with them and all that. Some might just be there for flair. But oh, there's a giant monkey too. There's monkeys with swords and shit. There's a lot of wildlife and shit. Yeah, there's still deep lore, but if you're looking for like Bloodborne, like, ooh, I can't figure out what's going on at all. Body video, help me, or some shit. Like, it's not like that. It's not so in your face that it's like lame. They still hold back just enough, and there is lore. But it's not like a puzzle, like a Souls thing. Because it does have a story. I mean, I could talk to this guy. I actually have an option to talk to him. And my dude will say shit. I mean, maybe not here, but And it's sort of based. I mean, it's Japan. I mean, they got a little history, I guess. I don't recognize a single damn I don't even know if this is a real history thing or just fake history shit. There's a lot of like Buddhist shit. Yeah. So, I'm going to kill you. There's one boss I didn't do. Usually I do every boss. It was just very bad boss. It was a very just lame boss. I just don't care. I just don't care about it. It's not fun. They tried making like a Souls boss in this game. It's a great way to display how different the combat is, because this dude's like a straight Souls boss and he's fucking insanely lame and boring because you just can't play it the same way. Old Demon King dude, yeah, the like Demon of Hatred or whatever. Crazy boring. I'm not even interested. You can't parry him because half of his attacks are fire, so they go through your block. You can't dodge him because you don't have your iframes in this for shit. So the idea is you just run around in circles forever and wait for like big openings, and then you leave and you run around some more. I'm like, this sounds like the most boring shit. And he has like 3 health bars, and it's just like, I just don't care, man. I was like, I'm ready to be done. Yeah, it's this guy. The lore is cool on him, I guess, but like, I just can't be bothered, dude. Usually I'm all for it, but game does not shine when it comes to Souls type of shit. Oh, it's hot as hell. Yeah, this dude, it's really lame. He's like one of the few side bosses in the game. There's not many side bosses outside mini bosses. Yeah, mini bosses, there's a lot, but... And if you're looking for as many bosses as a Souls game, there's not. Yeah. There's still quite a few bosses, but a lot of them are going to be put into mini boss land, which most mini bosses are unique. And yeah, this dude, I don't even want to walk over there. He's pretty lame. It's a lot of like across the whole thing, like giant like fire attacks. I don't know, he's just kind of lame. Like, your best bet is to just play like a pussy. And this game is so much about being aggro. Like, I always do way better when I just go fucking crazy on dudes, man. Like, you just keep clashing and parrying and clashing and parrying. It just goes so much better. So, like, these weird ones, like, the flow's different. And not like, ooh, this is just a breath of fresh air kind of boss. Like, it's like lame. Jesus. But yeah, I think the level design and a lot of like the jumping around's cool. I think the camera's pretty shit a lot of the time in fights. Like I said before, in Souls, you could if you could just kind of tell the enemy was attacking, you kind of knew where you were and what you had to do, and you could just kind of like iframe it. This camera got fucked. Most battlegrounds are like bigger in Souls 2 because most enemies are fucking gigano. But like, camera's not gonna get stuck too often. But like, there's a lot like this happening, or worse than this, where you can't barely see the dude, and you can't see yourself, and you need exact timing to like deflect. But like, it's a lot more integral to have a camera that's not shit. But you know, it still happened quite a bit. I feel like a lot of areas look good. And the time of day changes throughout the game. Not like I'll sit here and it'll turn to daylight, but as you go, that indicates big changes and stuff. It's a really good looking game, yeah. I think the areas are good. They did another one of these. I'm sure they could still do some cool shit. I don't know with this combat system if it would get old. I think the combat system's juicy enough where even if it was just like a bunch of really similar humanoid fights again, it wouldn't be like a big deal. Yeah, the stealth options were good. There's a lot of cool things you can do. Yeah. Oh, I definitely recommend it. I don't know, there's a lot of weird things to talk about. Oh, there's another thing. The revive system? Yeah, like I said, if the game was harder than it was, the revive system would be fucking lame, because you have to grind your revives back outside one of them. Yeah, dude, later, man. But yeah. So like when I was doing the last boss, you can revive once per health bar of the boss. So when you get these fights that have like 4 health bars, like you accidentally get hit a couple times. To get those back, you have to go grind or use bundled Jesus stashes, which in the entire game I got like 5. One was from like a side quest. That's like, if I was having more trouble in this game, there'd be a point where that'd be annoying. Like if you need to like a revive every fight, every phase or something. Like usually though, it's like I'm only gonna use 2 fight. Like on the final boss, I used like, I wouldn't use any on the first or the second phase. But see, it's like I had to do that. Or if they just all revived, I could use them on each phase freely. And the thing is, I could do that every time if I wanted to grind. I always have that option. But like, there's this weird thing like, if you want to grind, you are always going to be better off on a fight. But like, it's just really lame. I won't do it. But the game's not that hard. I mean, it's hard. It's not an easy game. But it's not like I'm gonna sit here for 8 hours like Wings of V kind of game. It's got a nice, good difficulty. Unless you just really fucking just cannot handle deflecting and timing. Which, I mean, I don't know. It took a while to get used to it. But yeah, I don't know, that's about it. There was a lot to talk about with this one. Be cool as more people play it that I know. Maybe if Goto plays it or some of you guys, to chit chat about certain things. From what I've seen, people agree that Demon of Hatred's bad. So that's interesting. Oh, the ninjutsus though? These are also kind of whatever. I don't... Pistol, and these call spirit emblems too. Puppeteer is really good and used like in some obvious places. But like, I don't know, blood smoke just lets you disappear again. I guess that could be cool. It's cool that the ninjutsus are here, but yeah, outside of like some kind of scripted moments, I mean, I guess I could have used it a little more, maybe. I can't tell what was just me not utilizing my options and what was just like the options being bad. I mean, usually I'm all for mixing shit up as much as I can, but this isn't like a style game though, like DMC where I want to use every single combo and every single item all in one fight. It's really boring. I don't know if I'm gonna do any more tonight. I mainly just wanted to finish this. I was gonna go put this in the mail, but now it's like a downpour. I'm kind of tired. I keep falling asleep in my damn chair. Yo, what's up then? We still gotta finish Pokemon. I could do some right now. I don't think we could finish Pokemon in 3 hours. I don't know if I really give a fuck. I'm doing pretty good. Had some stuff go on this week, so I've been gone for the last few days, but I'm all back now. Pretty much just slept for the last 3 days. Weird. I just kept sleeping. Moving to Texas? Dude. Give me a place, Goto. I'll come right on down, brother. No, I'm not moving. I do it for the right reasons though. Yeah, thanks for the welcome back. Give me an email. What? We can shack up, dude, if I give you an email. But yeah. I finished this game here. Try not to show off too many areas. Yeah, I think it's really good. It's really worth playing. I think it's different enough from Souls. Gotta hates me, man. He'd never do it. Yeah, I'm trying to think anything else I'm missing on this. I didn't get a chance to shave over the last 3 days too, man, but I just wanted to finish this. There's not much else. Do you think of anything I didn't say? Yeah. That's about it. Said the ninjutsus, I don't know about combat art and prosthetics, like they're god. Oh, I guess I thought about like the skill building. I thought having skill points was totally fine instead of having like an RPG thing. You could say it affects replayability. Maybe it would. Who fucking cares? Like they wanted to make a really solid game with like a very, you know, like I think having just more one way to kind of play it, but having that way be really deep and like well thought out is like totally fine. I mean, if you water down the options more, none of them are gonna feel that good. Kind of like Dark Souls. And let's be real, the gameplay styles in Dark Souls aren't that fucking different. Like magic versus, you know, melee, yeah, that's pretty different. But like, oh, this long sword versus this short sword, it's not like that fucking crazy different. With the prosthetics and all these other little options in this, there's a lot of variance. It's just like whether they're really that useful or not. I found myself just wanting to get the passives most of the time. And that was it. Like this shit, like I'm never gonna see it. There's replayability though. They give you the ability to up your attack power through skill points, so you can just keep doing that on New Game Plus. And there's like the very hard bell you can activate. Part of me wants to go to New Game Plus just to see what it's like, but I don't really know. If they do DLC for this, then I don't really want to be on that. Yeah. Oh, and the spirit emblems, if you want to buy them, they start costing like a shitload as you go. I don't know why they do that. They do blood vials too. I don't know what Miyazaki's like hard on is for grinding. If I used my prosthetics more in like every encounter, I wouldn't be grinding for spirit emblems. This is about all I do is spirit emblems. This attack, that's it. Because the gap closes really hard if you're locked on. As a utility, man. That's kind of like what I'm after. But dude. Maybe there'll be other things, but until people play this, I can talk to you about it. That's pretty much it. I could start